just like I encourage you to experiment, I do too. So yesterday at the zoo, after I had my dope moment that, yeah, oh yeah, I can move this thing around, which I did while that last video rendered, um, I thought when I make a new layer, Shift Option Command N and Shift Option Command E to merge, make the layer, make everything. And the only reason I do the N, as I explained before, is sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It always works when we're just moving with smart objects, but I digress. Right here, I thought, hey, what happens if I go to Image, Auto Tone? What'll happen? Now, this is destructive. It doesn't matter if it's a smart object or just pixels like this. It is destructive. And if you keep moving up the layer stack, you can't go back and edit it because, let's face it, that's destructive. But it is pretty easy to just make a new layer. Now, this, yikes with the color, right? Too much. It does two things. Number one, it lets us see our geometry clearer, and we can see we've got no funky things happening right along the edge. So this is cool. But number two, we can either, and I guess it's 2 and 3, we can change the blending modes, which sometimes yields interesting results, or lower the opacity and say, hey, maybe that's a better place to start. And here we have some pretty darn cool color that really enhances what's there without adding any unsightly artifacts that we sometimes get in Camera Raw when trying different combinations of things. So this is now part of my workflow. I am going to be using auto tone and remember image, auto tone, and auto contrast and auto color. Very different results. They're more true to what you were looking at before. Auto tone is where you're getting surprising results. And I've found that lowering the opacity almost always yields something interesting. So try this, and in your layer stack, go ahead and, because unlike the smart object and smart filters, it doesn't leave notes for you. We can click on this vector smart object, hit Command T, and then zoom out to see how big this thing is. But here, when we click on this layer, we've got the opacity sitting here. 53 is not a magic number. Everything's seasoned to taste. And you just are looking for the most interesting results possible. And these simple, less complicated pieces of geometry in this much larger image that we have here, these I find far more useful. I can see so many different ways to use this. And to be honest with you, I think I'm going to make this smart object even bigger so I can find smaller chunks of geometry that have pleasing amounts of color and variations in shape. And this is exciting stuff because this is going somewhere. Okay, so have some fun with this. The naming conventions, I told you Shapescape, this one's 9. I told you 0102. Really for the Photoshop ones, I've been using ABC and then calling the JPEGs 01 and 02. And I find that that's a better naming convention, so sorry for misstating that. But I'll tell you what, at the zoo today, I'm going wild with this. And I'm certain I will be able to get over a dozen different quality results out of this one vector smart object. That's pretty cool.